Hey, it's Alexander. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make fruit powder. This is really nice on the rim of cocktails or on the outside of glasses, or even sprinkled on top of a nice foam cocktail to give it some color and a nice aromatic boost. I'll be making 3 different kinds of fruit powders today. I've got orange, lime, and lemon. I'll also be using the orange juice to make a nice spiced vanilla orange syrup, as well as using the citrus juice in future cocktails. So let's get started. So to make fruit powders, you will need a few things. For one, you'll need a dehydrator to be able to dehydrate your fruit. And then you'll also need a food processor or a blender that can blend real nice and fine. The finer the powder, the better. So first up, we have our oranges. I'm going to peel them and then I'm going to juice them. These oranges smell so fresh. So I managed to get the majority of the peels off this one orange. I'm gonna set it aside and I'll juice it later. Now, to each their own, I really do enjoy this style of peel. This is something new I bought for my bar. It's by Mad Shark. It does have some nice serrated teeth in there on the blade. It makes it really easy to peel fruit. Now this is all the peels that I got from that entire bag of oranges. Now I did realize I still have an orange in the back, but I'm actually going to save this for making old fashions. All right, into the bowl we go. I'm gonna set this bag of already peeled oranges in the back and I'm going to juice them for another video. Next up, we have our lemons. Now, I won't be doing all the lemons because fresh lemons are always good to have on hand for cocktails on the fly. And also, if I juiced all these lemons right now, I don't believe I would use all that lemon juice before it would oxidize and start getting that off flavor. Fresh juice is always the best. But let's go ahead and peel a few. Okay, so that's all the lemons that I'm going to peel. The rest of these I'm going to juice and I'm going to use in future videos. Into the bowl we go. And last we have our limes. These are very small limes, so I have to be very careful. Okay, now that's all the limes I'm going to do. Into the bowl these go. All right, let me clean up this mess real quick. All right, so now we have our peels. As you can see, I got quite a few of each one in there. I didn't get as much peels out of the limes because they were so small, but there's plenty of orange, plenty of lemon, and enough lime peels in there for plenty of powder. So now I'll go stick these in my dehydrator overnight, and I'll see you back tomorrow. So into my dehydrator they go. I'm not entirely sure how long this will take because of how many there are in there, but I'm gonna do 12 hours at 145. I'll get up tomorrow morning and I'll check on them. If they're done by then, I'll go ahead and pull them. But if not, I'll just keep an eye on them throughout the day. I don't think they should need any longer than 12 hours, so we'll see you then. All right, so now it's the next day. I've just pulled all of my fruit peels out of my dehydrator. Let me show them to you real quick. We have our orange peels, our lime peels, and our lemon peels. So now what we have to do next is put this in a food processor, blend it as fine as we possibly can, and then we're gonna throw them into a jar to use on future cocktails. First up, we're gonna do our lime peels. Throw them in the food processor. And I'm gonna give this a nice thorough blend. All right, so this was taking a lot longer than I expected it to. This little food processor I have isn't doing that great of a job, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it into a blender and let this go for a while. right, so where that food processor was really struggling, this blender did it very quickly. So if you don't have the best food processor out there, you might just want to use your blender on high. Now I can already tell that I'm going to lose a little bit of my yield here just because of how much is stuck on the walls of this and how big this is. Not the best thing in the world to use, but it's what's working for me. So if you have a really nice food processor, that's probably the way to do it. So I've got my jar right here. I'm just going to pour this powder directly into this jar. All right, so that is our yield right there. Just a small jar of lime powder, and it smells fantastic. Now, if you care to, you can give this a rinse or a dry wipe down. I don't really mind it. I'm just gonna do lemon next and then orange without wiping them out. Shouldn't affect the aromatics that much. So next up, I have my lemon peels. Now I'm just gonna let this go. And I just peeked on the inside and the fineness is right where I want it to be. So let's open it up. Having a brush on hand might help in this scenario, but I do not have one. I've got my jar. I'm gonna put my lemon powder directly into this jar. All right, so now we have our lemon powder. This smells like limoncello. It's very refreshing. This will go really nice on the outside of a glass. So I've got my orange peels here. Give this a nice thorough blend. That looks good enough to me. All right, now I've got my jar. Gonna put it directly into the jar. All right, now we have our orange powder. This stuff smells a lot like the way that Aperol tastes. It's very citrusy, very acidic, but very fresh and clean at the same time. It's that same fragrant smell that you get when you express an orange peel over a cocktail, but in powder form. This stuff is some of my favorite. All right, so let me go ahead and clean up a little bit and then I'll show off all three together. All right, so all three of these powders turned out really, really nice. I'm very happy with them. This one reminds me, oddly enough, of, thank you, Kat. This one reminds me, oddly enough, of Fruit Loops. It's really interesting. I think it'll be really good with rum cocktails. The lemon one is very clean. Kind of reminds me of like limoncello or like a house cleaner. It's really nice. And this one right here is orange powder. It's funny because it looks like Cheeto dust. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think there's Cheeto dust on the side of your cocktail, but it smells fantastic. It smells similar to the way that Aperol tastes. If you've ever had it. If you haven't, change your life. Off he goes. Ooh! But yes, these are the three powders that I'm gonna be working with. These will be really nice on the edge of cocktails. You can actually mix this stuff with sugar for a nice citrusy, sugary rim. And you can actually even make your own tahini if you have chili powder and some salt. You can mix this in and have lime chili salt. But yeah, that's been it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll be using these in cocktails pretty soon and showcasing them on my channel. So keep your eyes peeled and I'll catch you then.